Speaking of ruining things, Mone, frozen assets. Frozen assets. Here's the thing. We love Mone around here. Not as much as people on Twitter. You guys seek help. Seek help. But we like Mone around here. She's like the female Rock with no payoff. And granted, I love saying CEO. Say it with me. CEO. 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 I do. But this has been just a fucking waste of time. Like, maybe she's not healthy. Obviously, they're waiting for a pay-per-view because they've turned into a pay-per-view company, sadly. But Mone frozen assets. Mone was like the hottest free agent in the world. She was injured. She comes back. We're like, heck yeah. CEO, CEO. And then she's like, I'm going to wrestle at the next pay-per-view. It's like, oh my God.
I'm
You're
gonna
fucking
dance
killing me here.
for 2.5 months. I'm gonna just dance.
Yeah. They didn't really time this one out. Either that or they just thought
No.
we'd go more crazy for her, but I don't know. I'm a big fan, but anyone that I'm a big fan of that just shows up and does absolutely nothing, like eventually I'm just like, all right, well, fucking, I've seen Dolph
My
Ziggler
guess
before.
is, my best guess is she was supposed to be hands on with the women's division reboot with the new writer coming on. That's
Mhm.
her that was brought on. It seems for her. I could see how they had the concern of if she's coming to the show every week, dirt sheets are going to be really obnoxious, and so are fans about her being backstage at the show every week. We may as well
Oh,
use her if she's here, sort of a thing.
got it. Understood.
That's
Understood.
my best. That's my best theory at why it's happened.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the timing is off and she's cooling down.
It
But,
is, and I agree. I think it. This might be the fastest I've ever seen someone get cooled.
and she'll be going against Willow Nightingale, and there's a small group
Willow's
of
been getting
fans.
cooled by this feud for me.
Yeah. There's a small group of fans that think Willow Nightingale should win. Obviously, it's
I
not
do.
going to happen, but I.
Well, I thought she should have before. Now I've cooled on her, and I kind of I'm indifferent.
Who
You
do you
know,
want to win right now? Let's say you have all the power. You Tony Khan hired you and said, Raccoon, you make the decision. Willow
honestly,
Nightingale or Monet?
I'm indifferent. Maybe even flipping a coin.
Oh, I don't know. I think Willow Nightingale pulling an upset kind of puts those loose strings to the New Japan. No one knows what I'm talking about, but the New Japan story, it ties it up,
Yeah,
and then
but
Monet could come back and be like more heelish because I don't know who the
but
heel is in this feud.
hypothetically, assuming Monet's healthy enough to go when this match happens, who can put on more high quality matches as your champion carrying the strap? Monet has more high quality new matches to do in her.
That is true. So
And I think that's a big thing. Plus, Monet works really, really well getting thrown around and ragdolled, ideally not getting injured. But with someone like Nyla Rose, she's going to be great with someone like Nyla Rose.
yeah,
Whereas Willow's not going to get a really great. She'll get a good match with Nyla Rose. Like they could probably have a decent match, but it's not going to be as good as if you let Nyla Rose shine as a monster.
yeah. I see your point. I see your point. So basically, we want to unfreeze the Monet, and we're looking forward to it. And here's the thing too, like I feel like the bigger the gap that you have to wait, the more pressure there is to have a good match. Because if we go to pay-per-view and she just has one of the average matches, that's going to be a rough look. That's going to be a rough
Yeah,
look.
if she doesn't put on a good match, it's going to be pretty bad. If we waited this long for her match and and the reaction is this is it.
Yeah. But she shined in NXT, she shined in New Japan towards the end. She shined in Stardom. So,
Barring the injury changing her trajectory massively, I don't see any problems coming out of her end of performing.
yeah. So we'll see. We're rooting for you, Monet. But and I'll chant CEO, but I don't know. It's kind of awkward when it's like just 2 minutes of dancing.
Yeah, it's just weird.
And we have the international feed, so we don't cut the commercial. We still watch you dance. I think it's even harder for the international feed. I don't know if the American feed, North American feed, because they
They
probably
probably
cut to
show her dance
commercial.
the whole time.
You think
No.
so? Dear North
yeah.
Americans, we watch the international feed. When she's just dancing, do they just cut to commercial or picture in picture? Because the international feed, she's dancing for 2 to 3 minutes, and you know what?
Yeah, she
it's just
dances
awkward.
for a while.
It's awkward. It is awkward. But there's
It's
a lot
always
of
at
problems
least
with
a
international
minute.
feeds.
At least a minute.
Yeah, Triller, you got to get your stuff together, man. Three
Triller sucks.
three events this month have been cut off before the end of the show and finish. That even though we're paying for it, we have to pirate the finish. It's insane. So if you're like anti-pirating, I'm anti-pirating to the point of I won't pirate if I have access to it. I won't pirate if I'm paying for it. But if I'm paying for it and you don't show me the finish of the show, I pirate every time, and I think that's justified. I think that's beyond justified. So
You already paid for it.
Yeah, I already paid for it. So there you go. Next,